Welcome back to the FitBiz Journey podcast. This is episode 18 and I have Leandro Gongoria, and I think I completely butchered your name, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I do that all the time. If you guys have been listening and watching, it happens all the time, so I'm sorry, it's not just you. So we have an amazing episode because, I don't know if you see this, what's the setup today? It's a little bit different than the usual because we have an amazing photographer with us that I've been working for probably like 7 years, something like that, right?
We've been working out together and building your brand since the year 2012.
Yeah, and
So
2012, yeah,
yes.
definitely. So since basically I got here, like first, so by the way, this good point that you brought it up because as soon as I got here, I actually started to work with a professional photographer and a videographer. And I'm still working with both Michelangelo and Leonardo. I'm sorry, I lose it when I said Leonardo because...
Yes, Michelangelo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Well, just before he butchers my name even further, my name is Leandro Gongoria and I'm a professional photographer. I've been doing photography since I was 6 years old as a hobby. And to tell you the truth, it's been my journey, it's been my passion, and I love what I do every day and I cannot get enough from it.
Yeah, you definitely do, and sorry to, I mean I do it with everyone, so don't take it personal, you know the name.
Not a problem.
But to come back, that we really want to talk about that how important is video and the photo for, and technically content for your brand and business. And I couldn't think of any better person than Leandro to be here and talk about basically professional photography and how he developed his brand and how he built his business and why he recommends that you actually have a professional photographer and videographer, for your brand, and when to use it, how to do it, because I think it's what separates what you see on the website. Most of the time is like stock photos that you buy, like Getty Images and all these websites, and everybody knows that, and it's just not personalized either. Because what cool about photography, but you will take over in a second, and you can basically say this way better than I am. But is when a client comes in through a door and they see the people who are in the photos and the place where you take the photos and the videos, they already come into a place. So they're like, oh, I know this place and I know these people because they recognize those faces. So by using somebody else for your pictures, like models or just gettyimages.com or whatever, like other websites, then you're advertising their brand instead of your brand. So anyways, but why do you think would, let's say a personal trainer should promote himself with professional photography? And what's the difference between like going on Craigslist, get a photographer or something, and then like finding somebody who is actually legit?
Well, that's an extensive question that I can easily divide it into 3 answers. One is basically you would like to build your unique brand. And I've been working with Daniel, and every time that we work together, I seem to perfect it and develop and make it a progressive way, in such a way that we're trying to almost like polish a diamond. So that way, at the end of the day, we also get killer images, phenomenal content for him to use not only into his For You Fitness company, but as well into many of his personal projects. Like we just shoot in a 6-building top, with an aerial view, and that is straight out of GQ, for real. And to tell you the truth, well, to answer the question without going into details basically you want to build a unique brand, you want to build it professionally and consistently, not to kind of like talk bad about my colleagues. But once you switch from photographers and quality, it will send a message to your audience that you have not consistency. And yes, they can emulate the style of photography that the post photographer they did into your brand, but at the same time, it's crucial that you would like to keep on building that personal and business relationship. Like I'm going to be seeing this, over and over throughout this interview. Daniel has been a wonderful client, and I've been kind of curating my avatar client based on his take on his business. So basically, just keep it consistent, keep it professionally, and keep on developing your brand as a professional entrepreneur.
Thank you. That was an amazing answer, and I appreciate that you build your clientele around me, basically, or based on me as a portfolio. And two things that you actually brought up. That one is working with the same people over and over, the same photographer, videographer. And funny you said that, because Michelangelo, our videographer, said exactly the same thing what you just said about now that we've been working for so long, it's just like polishing a diamond. He was saying exactly said the same thing. You guys probably talked about this.
Great.
Just kidding.
No.
But yeah, he brought it up that now that I have a better understanding and that we are working together, that what you actually need, where the brand goes, and that's huge, because I have met photographers, videographers, so many people, all over the place, and business owners who just hire like a random cheap photographer, videographer somewhere online, and then they do like one photo shoot and they think that's it. All right, now I'm good for like years, and that's also not true. We can talk about it in a minute. Creating content. What do you think about
this? This is also true. That you would like to keep yourself relevant to your industry. You have to understand. You have to kind of comprehend where your audiences are gearing towards your brand, and you have to analyze it. That Daniel's doing a phenomenal job. I believe that he has been on top of his game, and that's why he's voted one of the best of the Bay in here in Tampa Bay, Florida. And it is because he's been keeping consistency and he's keeping it fresh. So like he was saying, many professional business owners, they'd like to cater into one photo shoot and utilize that content and stretch it out as much, but it gets kind of like the same repetitive images, and you don't want to. You would like to showcase improvement and growth into your business, so that way it not only gives you a better outlook into your business, but it also nourish your business as a whole.
And for advertisement and keeping it fresh, and for the people to see something new over and over, the good thing you brought this up, because I'm gonna share with you guys that how often you should update it. I mean, you should probably do it way often than what I'm gonna say, but I know that none of the businesses really do this, besides like the really great ones. But in our case, we update with new photos and new videos every single month. And what I mean is, it doesn't mean like we just replace them every month. We sometimes replace them every single week, sometimes even days, meaning like we have a new shoot every month, and we can use all those photos and videos throughout the month. And our advertising agency, by the way, which we've been also working for many years, because they also tailor for us, just like building this relationship and everything. But they always tell us we need new photos, we need new videos. And even though anytime when we do a photo shoot, we have like 200 images or something, right?
Yeah. At least minimum of 200 great images, and then we would like to edit it down based on the needs of the client. And basically we will get usage for the rest of the remaining, to use it into personal projects and personal, like for example this postcards, that it is everything, that we do everything that we canvas as a business relationship. It is progressive. So within each time, like for example today, I'm going to say this photo shoot today, for example, we tried to do it something outside from our comfort zone, and we did it outside versus inside. We did some shots with Nina, which she's phenomenal, by the way, but at the same time, I wanted to explore a little bit more into the outside. So with that said, you would tell me how much you enjoyed this experience.
Yeah, so I meet so many business owners that I tell them, because I meet with gym owners and I coach them on their business and everything, and personal trainers, and when I tell them you need photos and you need videos, they're like, oh man, do we need to do that? That's literally what they do. Really? And I'm like, you should be like, because when I say that, and my team too, when I say we're doing video and photo shoot, they're like, yes. They're like, ready.
Exactly. And that's the type of feeling that you would like to create into your business, because if you have that equation into your business, then you got a golden ticket. Yeah. Basically. So you get a great team of enthusiasms, that they're kind of welcoming that experience, and they're taking the photo shoots or the video productions up to the next level. So that's how you succeed.
Yeah, actually, since you mentioned that how much fun we have, we created a video, remember? When we did a photo shoot last year, I believe?
Oh, yes.
And that video, we sent it out to our clients, just behind the scenes of our photo shoot with our trainers and clients. We sent it out to our clients, and that was the most opened email and the most watched video that we have so far created, because how much fun we had behind the scenes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I will link it in here or here, wherever in this video, and in the comment too, and you're gonna be able to watch that, how much fun we actually have at a photo shoot. It was it's a blast. I mean, it should be a blast. I mean, unless, but also you're doing a really amazing job, bringing out and coaching the people through the photo shoot. When lots of photographers, they just like go to the camera and then they're like, all right, so do your thing. And then, or they just don't know how to tell the people what they want, or they just collect the money. I've seen this before, and they just take pictures, and then they don't really care. They don't really invest into the client because it's like they know it's a one-time charge or something like that, not like ongoing work project. And so I see that all the time that photographers. I'm not talking about you, obviously. They know that they wouldn't really invest into their clients because again, just a one-time transaction. Even though if it would be amazing and they create these amazing pictures and not like sitting like this and that kind of, because I see that there are so many bad photos. But in your case, but also because that, I mean, the better you do, the better quality you get and the more you work and everybody's happier, right?
Now, to answer to Daniel's, to add to Daniel's statement, I'm also as well a art director, and I like to be considered as a director as a whole. I like to study the brand before going into or the client, and I like to build relationships. Relationships are so strong into the customer service because if you make somebody happy, like I have been to Daniel over the past 6 years, he has referred me to countless of clients that now I can easily work with them, build their brands, and then at the same time it's a joyful experience for me. And not only for me, but also to the client. And if you're happy in what you do, then once again, it comes down to being happy in what you do so that way you can excel at it. Since I'm loving my job, it's easy to see with anyone. So I put myself into their shoes. And not only because of that, because so many people, they do, then once again, what Daniel said, oh man, we have to do a photo shoot, or man, I don't know how awkward I will look into the camera. But then you have to set them yourself into their shoes, and then you have to project that out there. So the more easier that it becomes, the better images that you will get, and then once again, it's building relationships because business is all about that.
So how would you or how could you recommend to the personal trainers or gym owners who are listening right now, or business owners for that matter, to find a photographer, like what they should look out for? Because I guarantee you that they won't know that. How they know? Do you think this is a good photographer? Do you think this is bad? Or a price point? Or what should they look at?
Simple. Diversity. Diversity. You will find a good photographer or a good videographer that has some sort of knowledge in shooting outside and inside. Those are the basics too, okay? Now, in terms of their content, if you see a photographer releasing all the same lighting, the same type of frames, then they're one-trick pony, which I don't mind, because everyone, has their own signature, but I do admire the masters that they dive, they kind of had their hands wet into many different places, and that creates a whole new professionalism into it. So one thing for you to look out for diversity in their body of work, and also you have to interview them beforehand, because like Daniel said in many occasions, that it will be a saving of a headache if you really train and understand where they're coming from, and so that way you don't have to deal with the headaches and the issues later on. You would like to train your very best to cater into your very best brand. So once again, diversity, interview them before, sense the chemistry, because energy is all about keeping it real and keeping it transparent, and also to be a professional, a true professional. So I've witnessed many photographers, that they like to, because of their personality, they like to be bold and they like to be loud and they like to be obnoxious and they like to curse, throughout, and there's no problem for that, but keeping it professional, because you're representing your brand and you're representing your clients as well. So you would like to be represented with a photographer that understands that type of professionalism.
So why shouldn't, let's say, business owners just go out and buy a camera and then try to do their own photos? What would you tell to those people who are thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna go buy a camera and take some pictures?
I know that nowadays it's everything self-taught through YouTube and you can acquire that, but it's always best to rely on true professionals. Why? Because they have the history, the background, the experience that they have learned by the schools. I obtained my degrees into my school and I paid my 15 tuition, into it. And then once again, it comes down to pricing. It's something that you mentioned, but I didn't acknowledge it. Pricing, it can be very competitive in the market, but then you can value how much investment you would like
quality, right?
In quality,
yeah,
as well. So basically, please, if you're doing your videos or if you're try to have some sort of understanding of our profession, because I'm not going to start training my buddy at the gym because I just watch a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay, and I like to consider myself as a personal trainer because I don't have the knowledge, So, you know what I'm saying. So
yeah. That was gonna exactly say that the same reason you hire a photographer is the same reason why your clients come and train with you and not going into the gym and do it on their own. You are a professional training the clients, and the same thing why you hire an accountant eventually for your business. The same thing you hire a personal trainer, so you're not doing everything on your own, and you hire people who are smarter than you at that thing that you're hiring them for. For example, I have a camera, but I wouldn't use the camera and start taking photos. I mean, I could have took a photo shoot, myself today, but the quality would have been like not even close, or whatever we got out of it, I would have been like, no, and wasted my probably whole day to do it. With you, it takes like an hour or so, and then we get a lot done, and it looks like it's, like you said, going for GQ.
Yeah, and not only that, but lately I've been experiencing, due to a pro elite athlete, Will Grant, videoing the whole entire process of it. So I do understand that learning a new trade into the new and basically into a streamline, because photography and videography, they go hand in hand. Fitness and health and food nutrition, it goes all in the same arena. So I do understand, how hard it is to manage your type of professional that it is as a business owner and trying to learn a new technique. So it's basically to understand the basics, but let the professionals do their work.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's basically everything. You always want to hire smarter people, and always want to, as a business owner, you have to really think about that. You need to delegate, but on top of that, you need to leverage that. So you need to have some understanding what you're delegating. So you don't just say, okay, do this. You need to have an understanding, but on top of that, you really need to just find people who are way better than you are at that skill that you want to hire them for. And then you're gonna have an amazing product, quality, brand, and whatever you name it, you're gonna be able to accomplish anything you want.
Exactly.
So, and can you walk us through that? Also, you have been working at fashion shows, weddings, lots of things. What was your best job and why? I would say, or if even with fitness professionals, you work just like you said, fitness models. Any feedback that you would give to them, or any advice that you could give a business owner or a gym owner, a personal trainer, or an athlete for that matter in photography or branding? Yeah.
Branding, it goes into a whole entire new pool of information that we can do another podcast about branding.
Yes.
And it will be a different subject. But basically, what you want to do as a business owner, you would like to understand your client. You would like to do your homework, second. And third, you would like to communicate, keep that transparency, communication with them. So in order for you guys to collaborate, not to impose your ideas because you think that you might know best. Yes, you might know best, but at the same time, listen on what they are saying to you, so that way you can receive that information and you can place it all together into your creative blender and then make the best outcome possible. So basically, I've been involved into the fashion industry since the year 2002, and I started in New York City and then I jumped into Miami. I cover many fashion weeks, I cover many fashion shoots, many editorials, conceptuals, fine art as well. I've been showcased into museums, and everything, it is a journey, it is an experience that it makes my brand as a whole. So I cannot tell you this is my favorite photo shoot, because I will be kind of dividing the pie into a little section. But then once again, like I usually like to project myself, Daniel and his brand has been my avatar for building my personal ideal client. And I'm not saying that, because I'm being interviewed, because I have a friendship with them and a professional relationship, which they're two separate things. You can never blend them together, because it's bound to backfire you. So basically, Daniel, what he has built in this past 5 years, it's monumental. So it's like,
thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All I do is surround myself with people like you.
No,
Yeah.
that's the answer.
Yes.
Basically, work with people that you feel comfortable, that you trust as well, because trust is another big part of building a professional relationship. Transparency, communication, and trust. They're the three keys. I don't know if you have something to add.
No, that's 100% right. And then I was wanted to point out, because now you might motivate lots of people, who want to hire a photographer and start taking pictures. But what are a couple of things that they should really consider, like when they're taking pictures, for example, of their clients and their employees and subcontractors, trainers, all that, to be able to use those images online in all these places, because lots of people just take pictures and start using them, and eventually they get a lawsuit because they never signed or anything. Or so, what would be like the or the cautions? What would you advise them to do?
What I usually do, it's every quarter of a year, I'd like to gather all the images taken and send them directly into the Library of Congress, so that way my client and myself, we're protected by the law, under copyright laws. So basically, I've been encountering 2 times that they misuse my images for promoting an event, and so I contacted the owner. They didn't want to adhere to my request, so I had to get the lawyer involved, yada yada yada. So, but just make sure that as yourself, as your company is protected, you're protecting the identity of your clients, because you wouldn't like to see the head of your client being popped out, into an advertisement, God forbid, but you would like to stay protected into it. Does that answer the question?
Yes, and then you would also have to have like a model release form or something that the trainers and the clients would have to sign too, so we can use their images too, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's called a model release form, and model, it's not towards fashion. It is a subject in front of the camera. So it could be either a real estate, a paralegal, a fitness, identity. So with that said, just always make sure to have everything in written and everything archived. Like I was telling Daniel that I have archived since our very first photo shoot, and I have no problem in going back into the vault. But at the same time, just make sure to have somebody that has their all the gears, placed in the right place. So you wouldn't like to hire I'm not saying that anybody outside from the school, they're bad, but they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge on how to run a business and being creative as well. That was one of my biggest challenges at first.
Yeah, 100% agree. So where could people find you if they want to find you on Instagram or Facebook, website?
Website is leandrogongora.com. It's under construction right now because I'm transitioning my business into something much bigger that you will all experience very soon. But you can find me as well, and you can actually Google my name, Leandro Gongora Photography, and you will see tons of information from it. You will then find me at Leandro Gongora at Twitter. You will find me at L Gongora at Instagram, and I'm sorry, I don't do a Snapchat.
It's okay.
But you can Google me, and you can find where I'm from, what I've done, and where I'm going into my next chapters. But my next biggest chapter, it will be for me to finish my master's into visual communication and for me to create my own branding company. So.
Awesome, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, to take time sitting down with me. I know you're busy, and especially summertime and everything, and traveling and everything.
No problem.
But I really appreciate, coming on and everything. And guys, thank you very much for listening. I really hope that you got some really good quality content out of this. Please rate the show below. We would really appreciate it. Send in some questions that you have.
Give it
and
a thumbs up.
Exactly, thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel, and please rate it too as well. And share it with your friends, with your clients, with your trainers, whoever you want to share it, because everybody needs to have an amazing brand. All right, thank you very much.
All right, see you next time. Bye.
Cool, awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.